Yeah, so all that was prophesied in the scripture. You guys
And yeah,
understand?
now I was gonna say, mostly probably all them teachers probably women too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yep, yep,
Yeah.
and yeah, because the second part is said widowhood,
Yep.
right? So there's gonna be a lot of days, and you know what? It's only gonna get worse, you know. But if you're a man of the Lord, this is a joyous time for these are joyous times right now. Why? Because we know we're just inching closer and closer to our big brother, who you even call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, returning. All right, and what the delivering the elect of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right?
Hmm. All right. The loss of children and widowhood,
Right,
they shall come upon thee in their perfection,
right,
for the multitude of them sorceries.
right. For the multitude of your sorceries, because what the so-called white man, they like to worship. That's why in the scriptures they're known as the modern day Chaldeans.
Yep.
The modern day Chaldeans, sorcerers, and magi's. Why? Because they're all into that witchcraft. Everything that is so-called, they actually they built this country on what? Witchcraft. That's why for the multitude of thy sorceries, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Right. For the multitude of thy sorceries,
Right,
and for the great abundance of thy inheritance,
right,
for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness.
right. They trusted in that wickedness. They trusted in worshiping in Satan. They trust in going to other countries and stealing and robbing and pillaging. That's what they trust in. They trust in nothing but wickedness, no righteousness, right? You know. All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
brother.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness,
Right,
thou hast said, none seeth me.
right. Yeah,
That
yeah. The Most
Yep.
High doesn't see what I do, right? Because number one, I don't believe in the Most High. I think Satan is more powerful than the Most High, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am none of else besides me.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm on top in Ezekiel. That's why they say to themselves that I am God. All right. Because why they haven't been judged by the wickedness that they have done. So they're like, you know what? I guess the Lord is with us. You
Or
know,
yep, or they say there is no God.
there is no God, and
Yep.
the only God that they believe in is Satan. That's who they worship. So for all that wickedness, okay, the Most High is gonna destroy you, so-called white people, in your establishment, in your kingdom. You know,
Right.
that was it, right? That was the end of
There's
the
some
verse.
more. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Right? Yeah,
And
yeah. Because you got the modern day Edomites that had they have no clue. That caught them by surprise.
yep.
Little did they know when they dropped their little boy, little Tommy off at school, that they think they weren't going to come back anymore. And the so-called white man, the elites, they think they have this wrapped up. They think they're getting closer and closer to their world domination, their new world order. But little do they know, the Most High is going to throw a wrench in their little plans. You know?
All right. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off.
Yeah. And what's that mischief? The monkey wrench that I just spoke about. The nation of Israel rising, right? Could continue to rise and getting stronger, all right, and us through the power of the Most High bringing your kingdom down. That's going to be that mischief that you didn't account for.
Um, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly,
Right.
which thou shalt not know.
Right. Yeah. And desolation, which is nothing.
Yep.
You know, your the destruction of America and your whole plans. Right.
Okay, so we're gonna get into these articles real quick. Read quite a few of them. Dealing with the shooting. So it says a new shooting in California shocks U.S. It says another shooting spree has occurred in the U.S. state of California, as the American public is still in shock over the recent spate of massacres across the country. A gunman fired at least 20. Excuse me. I'm sorry. This was from Press TV. Okay. It says a gunman fired at least 50 shots in a parking lot outside the Fashion Island Mall in Newport Beach, 35 miles south of Los Angeles on Saturday, causing panic among shoppers. There's a quote. It says, "No one was injured during the shooting, but one person sustained minor injuries while escaping the scene," police said. Shortly after the incident, police rushed to the area, arresting the shooter, identified as the 42-year-old Marcus Serenana, without any struggle. A male was shooting a weapon in the air and at the ground, standing by a vehicle, said Newport Beach police spokesman Kathy Lowe. That's
Fuck
just
it, that,
yeah,
that sounds like somebody that's because you know what the elites, what they do, they drug you, they drug people, and then just because they've got stuff called, you think these movies are fake, but they really got things
Like,
of called mind control.
yeah, like
You know, so
Takes
that
some
sounds
ownership.
like, why would somebody? That sounds like somebody was on drugs, that was drugged up and told to do that, and afterwards he probably didn't have any clue. You know, who knows? But that sounds like somebody that was drugged. That smells like a setup.
just like the movie the Crazies. When the
Yeah.
whole people in the society go crazy off of something that was put in the water.
Right.
That's, watch the movie, you'll check it, see it.
Yep.
But the brother's right. You got Jason Bourne, that movie, where they had something called I forget what it's called. Like, what was it called?
Blackbriar.
Blackbriar, which is really like today's version of MK Ultra, which is like a mind control thing, and they control you and they release you in society, and you go start killing people, man. That exists.
Yeah.
You want to laugh about it, go ahead, but you might be the next one catching a bullet by one of these people who are brainwashed and released in society, man.
It's a movie called Merchant Candidate or some shit like that.
Manchurian.
Yeah. When they was put the chip inside the guy's head,
Yeah.
and then they had him doing things that he didn't know he had what he was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that just reminded me of that movie. Remember, it was Naked Gun. Remember?
Naked
And
Gun.
the guy I don't know if it was a chip in his brain, but he would get triggered. The dude would press a button, and he would just go and he would just start shooting.
He would just start
people
shooting
in the
people.
baseball
Yep.
field.
Yep.
Remember, he would just start shooting people.
It was a comedy. It was a
Yeah,
comedy,
it was a
but it was
comedy.
real though, man.
Yeah.
Hey, that exists, man.
Yeah.
Hey, the so-called white man's technology. Trust me, we're getting the little stupid iPhones that you guys wait online for. All right, for hours to get. Trust me, that the elites have that 20 years before you get it, man. That technology, they have underground cities that look like a different world. These elites are on a different level, man. Why the hell would we be getting the same technology as them? Okay, so they have stuff that out there. They don't put any movies for no reason. Here's another article. Gunman shoots 3 in Alabama, then killed. A gunman has opened fire at a hospital in the U.S. state of Alabama, injuring a police officer and 2 other people before police shot and killed him. The attacker was killed by another law enforcement officer after he injured a policeman and 2 employees of St. Vincent Hospital in Birmingham on Saturday. This is Saturday, a day after the Connecticut issue, man. All right. Now I just want to read that quick. My point I'm bringing out these articles is because it's not a coincidence these things are happening. They're doing this to push the gun control law, all right, to take away your rights. Here's another article. I'll just read this one. It says 3 people, this is before the Connecticut issue. This is 3 people, including the gunman, have been killed. I'm sorry, let me read the head title. 3 killed in U.S. mall shooting. 3 people, including the gunman, have been killed in a shooting at a shopping mall in the U.S. state of Oregon, police say. All right.
Yeah, that was it.
The incident occurred when a masked man opened fire during Christmas shopping season at the Clackamas Town Center shopping mall just south of Portland on Tuesday. A quote: "One person who was injured in the incident was taken to a local hospital where the individual was treated for traumatic injuries." Whatever. I don't gotta read that, but that's another incident. Okay.
I think that was the first one
Before the
last week. That would happen like either Monday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
That happened last week. So it's like that was like 4 shootings in what, 1 week?
One
In
week.
the span of 4 or 5 days. And then you got Bloomberg. That's once you hear any of the any of the elites, like Bloomberg or Obama, they make a press conference or they mention it or whatever, or they talking about it. That should be a trigger or a sign that, you know what, maybe that was planned or it is planned. Why? And the first thing they mention is what? Gun control. But on the day after that thing happened in Connecticut, there were 100 or so protesters
Yep.
in front of the White House.
I got that
You got it?
article.
There were
Yep.
100 or so protesters in front of the White House protesting about gun control
Yep.
and the gun laws.
Got it right here. It says, like the brother just mentioned, Press TV. It says Americans demand stricter gun control laws. I wonder why. And when you hear protesters, all right, another thing you people don't know about, all these protests, all right, are organized, are agent provocateurs, man, that work for the CIA or some kind of freaking underground coup, a government coup. That basically all these protesters are set up, okay? Everything you see in front of you are set up, man. For why? For the so-called white man, the demonic system, the New World Order, for them to come into play and to take over the whole world, man. All right, take over your rights. So this protest is a setup. It says Americans demand stricter gun control laws. Americans have held a rally outside the White House to demand stricter gun control after the latest mass killing at a Connecticut elementary school. That's all I need to read. All right. And one more, just before I go into my point. It says, this is on Obama. Obama vows action over gun crime. U.S. President Barack Obama has promised meaningful action to prevent major gun tragedies in the wake of Connecticut school shooting and that left 20 children dead. 20 students and 6 adult victims were fatally shot by a gunman who later killed himself. All right, so I don't got to get into that. My point is on that here it is. It's all about the guns. Guns are destroying America and the whole world. This is awful. This is what they're trying to portray. Okay, well, here's my answer to that. Okay, if America is so concerned about gun control and taking the guns from American people, like it's gonna be a safer place.
Yeah.
You're gonna live so much longer. Okay, how come gun control death is not even part of the top 10 reasons why people die in America? So let's get into that. All right. So the top 10. I looked up the top 10 deaths in America. I came up with 15. Okay, and if they really, my point is, if America really wants to prevent death and safety to America, they would do something about these top 10 reasons. The number one is a heart disease. Okay, heart disease. 2 is cancer. 3 is a stroke. 4 is chronic lung disease. 5 is accidents, like car accidents or whatever have you, falling off a building, or any accident. 6 is Alzheimer's. Okay. 7 is diabetes. 8 is influenza and pneumonia. 9 is kidney disease. 10 is blood poisoning. 11 is suicide. 12 is liver disease. 13 is hypertension. 14 is Parkinson's disease, and 15 is homicide. You know, by stabbings, killings. It's not all. That don't only include guns, but there's other ways of homicide, by choking somebody to death. So even gun control or guns don't even commit to 20% of deaths, because homicide just means being killed.
Yeah.
All right. You can die many ways.
Nice.
You could get beat to death, man. You know what I mean? Hey.
Yeah, you can. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Job 13:4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value."
Got it.
Right. Yeah. So basically, them saying that the gun is such, the gun is causing so many rampant deaths in America. All right, and that's a big lie, because we just read 12 or 13 out of the 15 causes of death are all health related.
No, there's 14 of them.
Yeah, it was 14.
Yeah, it's
One
14.
was suicide, right?
Well, the last one was homicide.
Yeah.
Suicide, homicide,
Oh, yeah,
and
13.
accidents.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, okay,
Right?
okay, yeah.
So 12 of them were all health causes.
Yeah.
So if anything, there should be a ban on like GMO foods and barium oxide in the air.
Well, I got some, brothers.
Getting rid of McDonald's and shit like
Well,
that.
yeah, that's what we about to get into, man. See, now it all goes back to to health and what you eat in your body. But anyway, let's get to the point. Yeah, so heart disease was number one, right?
Mhm.
I'll just read this. It says